Hi everyone. So today we are going to talk about the 14 realms of afterlife. Which one will you enter? Then we shall talk about the two perspectives on this topic. Then I shall briefly describe what is the Pitralok, the realm of our ancestors. And then I shall talk about the Mokshalok, what it is. We shall also briefly touch upon the continuum of consciousness. So let's get going.
So, what is the Vedic concept of the lokas, or the realms of afterlife and of existence? The universe is imagined like a layered onion, or there are different levels which are there. And once you keep on peeling off each layer, you come to the most smallest layer or to nothingness. So you have seven higher realms and seven lower realms. So these are imagined planes of existence or a state of consciousness. They can be taken literally as physical spaces where people go to, or imagined state of consciousness. So we must remember that Indian philosophy focuses on dharma and karma and the cycle of birth and rebirth. And so the world consists of material and non-material, the tangible and the non-tangible, and we have to move from the gross body to the subtle body. Okay, like I said before, like an onion peel, you keep on peeling the onion and ultimately you come to a void which is there. So, and then we have to reach the supreme being, the Brahman, and then the Brahman, which is the supreme being, and then the supreme void or the supreme space or cosmology which is there, which is the you can say the body of the Brahman. And you can see in these diagrams some pictorial depictions uh, that I have found on the internet, and you can also do a separate study yourself. So let's look at the quickly discuss the points of views which are there. You have the upper lokas and the lower lokas. Now these upper lokas are the seven dimensions, higher dimensions of thought, science and consciousness, and the lower lokas are basically this is a point of view of uh, uh, instincts, material energies, hidden layers of reality and primal sciences. Now, there are some people speculate about what are these different lokas or the worlds or the realms that are there, either physical or they're at the conscious level. String theorists imagine themselves as extra dimensions, or some neuroscientists take it as the layers of the brain, uh, like instincts moving to emotions, then intellect, and then complete transcendence. So these are the different type of points of views which are thought of about these 14 lokas or the realms that are there in our afterlife, which are thought of as, so some are physical and some are on a conscious quantum level. So what are those 14 realms? Now we come to the seven lower realms or the planes of the mind, you can take them as. So, in this pyramid shaped diagram which I've done, this will correspond to the inverted pyramid diagram I've done in the previous slide. So, you have the earth lok, earth, the bhulok, then you have the atala, the vitala, the sutala, the talatala, the mahatala, the rasatala, and the patala. Okay, now these are all the realms which are the negative realms. So when you are born, you might be placed in one of these realms. So you move from the positive realms, and depending upon your karma, and you come to these lower realms, uh, so that your karma is then exhausted, and then again you are reborn uh, into a different realm or in a different form altogether. You may not come as a human at all. So these seven lower realms are not hells. They are basically materials, vices, and illusions. You can take them as. So these are subterranean realms. So now Patal, which is extreme lower realm, which is there, is extremely dark realm, and Patal means what is below the feet, and Lok means a realm or a world. So from the earth downwards, you can say, or from the Bhulok downwards, you can say, you have Atala, which is ruled by Bala, the son of Maya, and it is a place of pleasures, magical powers, and states of desire and pleasure and basic instincts fulfillment. Then you have the Vitala. This is ruled by a form of Shiva, which is the Harabhava, and here a lot of alchemical process take place. There's gold, there's a lot of wealth, there is energetic transformation, so all the chemistry and nuclear sciences can exist in this level. You have the Sutala, the kingdom of the generous king Bali, and it's a place which is even more beautiful than the heavens. So, this could be a place where all the political and the social sciences and organized societies are formed or are located in. Now, Talatala is ruled by Maya, the greatest architect of the Asuras or the demons, and is filled with beautiful palaces and lots of wealth and invention. So, this could be a location of engineering, architecture, and all the inventive technology, and it has very less spiritual grounding. As you can see, all these lower levels or realms or planes of mind, you can say, have a very less spiritual backing in. It's very material and tangible. But then you have the Mahatala. Now, below all these are all the extremely deep and dark realms where all the serpents and the Nagas exist. Okay, so Mahatala is inhabited by powerful multi-hooded serpents like the Nagas, and it's on a very deep subconscious level of fear. It could be also corresponding to the reptilian brain instinct in the neurosciences level. And then you have the Rasatala, is the home of the Asurs and the Daityas, or the giant demonic beings who live in total darkness and enjoy extreme material pleasures. It is a stream of extreme aggression and darkness and materialism. It's the study of primal forces or going deep in the earth where the rocks and stones are. Um, and then you have the Patalog or Nagalok. You can say it is ruled by Vasuki, the great serpent king. It is beautiful, it has a lot of jewels, and treasures lie beneath this, and yet it has a dark realm underneath, like an abyss, like the you can talk about the deep ocean studies which are there, the abysses inside the waters, or even microbiology, bacteria, viruses, or the unconscious dangerous ideas which are there. So these are the seven lower realms, and in the next diagram you will just see a comparative way in which both all these 14 realms are then put together, the top positive realms and the lower negative realms. the the full uh, pyramidical um, diagram. My screen is freezing, so I'm stopping in between. So right from the Satyalok, you have the positive realms, and then you have the negative realms below, and the earth and Atala is a place where things come together. So, and in these diagrams, in the diagrams which are there, each realm is compared to something which we can locate in our understanding of our human world, right? So Bhulok, earth is the human world. Bhuvarlok is the space and the atmosphere. Swarlok is the heavenly world. Then there's the world of sages, then the world of wisdom, coming to the Tapalok, which is the world of austerity, uh, and Satyalok, which is the world of truth. So in the same way, the the Satyalok could be the place of enlightenment. Tapalok, the area of austerity, could be the quantum field theory and focus. The Janalok, the wisdom and seers, is the collective consciousness and maybe the area of cognition. The Maharlok, or the realm of sages, can be about philosophy and theoretical physics. Heavenly world, the Swarlok, can be the solar system and all the aspirations that we have. The Bhuvarlok, or the space and the atmospheric level, is the psychic realm perhaps, and the astronomy. So then you have pleasures and magic in the Atala. Uh, the desire and the instincts. Then the Vitala is the alchemy and the energy that is there, the chemical transformations, as I mentioned before, and so on and so forth. So this is on the whole how it looks like. So you can pause the video and have a brief idea of what I was talking about on a whole scale. Now, which interpretation do we take as to the symbolic representation or the literal, interpretation? Which perception do we accept? Well, the beauty of Indian philosophy is that both the interpretations coexist. There is room for both of them to exist. For everyday spiritual teachings, lokas are afterlife destination based on your karmas. For deep seekers, the lokas or the realms are the inner states of the mind and layers of reality you can access consciously by yourself. So now let's take the analogy of a radio. The karma tunes you automatically to a station after you pass away, after your death. But a yogi can train himself to switch frequency at will even while alive. So this is interpretation. Both of the interpretations are valid and they exist, coexist. So let's now discuss where do our ancestors reside? What happens in the Pitrulok? The Pitru are those relations whom have passed and gone to the other world, into the afterlife. Now, Pitras after death, unless liberated or bound by extreme karma, travel to the Pitruloka. Now, that is a special realm between the Bhuvarlok, which is the space, and the Swarlok, which is, you can say, heaven. Now, this area is ruled by Yama, the god of death, and is a temporary station before these Pitras they take rebirth into a different realm. Now, during Pitru Paksha, now this comes generally just before Navratri is celebrated in India. It's around 16 days, about 2 weeks, where we remember our ancestors, and this type of remembrance of ancestors is prevalent in many cultures. So during Pitru Paksha, the veil between the world is thinner, and it's easier to remember our ancestors and show them our love and affection through intent. And since the veil is thinner during this time between these two realms, our realm and their realm, we allow offerings to from the Bhulok, which is earth, to reach the Pitrulok directly. So it becomes easier to connect with our ancestors during this time and to show our love and affection for them, and to remember them that they are remembered by us who are living, and we are much obliged that they were in this world, and it is because of them that we are here in this world. So the rituals that we do in Indian philosophy or in any other cultures nourish the ancestors and strengthens their journey, and it reduces their karmic debts. So whatever they wished and wanted, we can make some food items which they used to like in a remembrance and as a thanks. In Pitruloka, ancestors are neither fully in higher lokas nor reborn on earth. They are in a transition, and so offerings are like the energy sources that support them in the middle stages to move on to the different realms that they should be born or reborn in. By honoring them, we create a karmic balance that helps our own soul's journey through the lokas as well. And it is also the time during the Pitru Paksh to acknowledge that we are a part of a continuum of consciousness. Our ancestors' energies live on within us. It is because of them that we are here, and they will definitely bless us if we remember them and we remember them as well, and make their afterlife much happier and easier. They feel happy that we remember them. Anybody will feel happy. So with good intentions, we should follow all the rituals. So by remembering them, we harmonize our own karma and prepare our soul's path through the lokas after that. So in honoring them and in remembering them and in giving them love, we are making our own afterlife much easier. Now, what is the Moksha Loka? It is a realm of liberation. Now, the 14 lokas that we have discussed before are under the samsara, which is the cycle of birth and death and rebirth. Whether you go to heaven or to the underworld, you are bound to the karmas that you have performed. The highest realm, the Satyalok, is also not eternal, and the universe dissolves, it also dissolves with it. So, moksha means a liberation from this entire cycle of birth, death and rebirth system that keeps on going, and then you being placed in different realms. So, this moksha brings a stop to this. This is a time when the soul recognizes itself and its true nature and understands that it is pure consciousness and the Brahman, and becomes with the Brahman and enters the ultimate reality, which is infinite. So, this goes beyond the world and beyond the cause and effect. So, the lokas are the temporary experiences which are pleasant or unpleasant. Moksha is this permanent state of freedom from this cycle of birth and rebirth and being born again, and these experiences which are pleasant and unpleasant. So, therefore, our sages emphasize seeking liberation, then reaching the heaven. So, it is this pure awareness beyond thought, emotion, or instinct, and the ground state of consciousness that we must aim for. So, this is is what it is after life. This is what perhaps happens in these different realms that the human soul goes through, and we must aim for this permanent state of freedom, which is not given a chance to all people in this world, but we must try for a better realm. So I hope you like this very slightly detailed video about what happens after we are passed in this world. Do let me know what you think and what are your ideas about afterlife. Thank you and bye bye.